Today, as I said, we'll be discussing the new security deposit laws that are coming into effect in California. So that is AB 2801. Now, what is AB 2801? So this is the legislation that's come into effect, the first phase April 1 in 2025, and the second phase in July 1 in 2025. So what it's aiming to do is enhance fairness and transparency, regulate the handling of security deposit, standardize the documentation and deduction process, and yes, it does apply to all residential leases in California. Now, what it will be requiring you to do is, as of April 1, you must provide post-tenancy documentation for repairs. So what that is if you do want to claim any maintenance or damages from the tenant security deposit, you must take photos of the damage prior to it being repaired and after it being repaired as well. And you must be able to provide this to the tenants. Now, as of July 1 this year, what you're also required to do is take photos of the property before the tenants move in. So a move-in inspection report must be conducted, and you must be able to compare that with photographs from a move-out inspection report. So that is as of July 1. Now, in terms of deductions, what you can be deducted, it's been set out within the legislation. You are only able to deduct actual costs to restore the property's conditions, excluding normal wear and tear. And there are no automatic charges without any documentation to prove what you are claiming. So say, for example, you need to claim a hole patch repair in the wall. You're only able to claim the cost of repairing that, and you must be able to provide photos of the condition of that wall prior to the tenant moving in and after the tenant moves out. Now, what you also must provide is photographic evidence of the repair before it's been done and after it's been done as well. So you need to ensure that your documentation is up to scratch and up to speed in order to be able to claim these deductions from a tenant security deposit. And this obviously also means that it's an obligation that you have as a property manager to your landlords, to your property owners, to ensure that you do have that documentation in order to claim that security deposit. Now, in terms of the deposit return process, you have that deadline of 21 days after the move out in which you must include itemized deductions, before and after photos of those repairs and proof of those services if you are claiming from that tenant's security deposit. Now, the tenants have certain rights under AB 2801, or the security deposit legislation changes that are happening, as I like to call it. Now, they have the right to request a pre-move out inspection. So you must be able to notify them in writing that they have this right to have a pre-move out inspection prior to them moving out of the property. So in terms of that process and what that looks like, you would send them the email in writing or a letter advising them they have this right for a pre-move out inspection. You would go and conduct this, and then you would send them a list of items that you would identify they need to address, and it allows the tenants to address those issues proactively prior to the actual move out inspection being conducted. Now, post move out inspection, if there are still damages that need to be claimed from the security deposit, you would then go through that process of taking photos of before and after that maintenance, that repair that's been done, and providing all of those documentation to the tenants within that 21-day deadline for the security deposit. Now, we have seen some common challenges with property managers in order to comply with this legislation. The biggest one is missing an incomplete photo record. So the big thing, and that's why the legislation phase 2 rolls out in July 1, it gives property managers the chance to wrap their heads around how to actually complete photo records and have that, and what those best practices are. So we've seen a lot of property managers say they must now need to come up with the process of finding photo records, And the disputes over the property condition has also been a common challenge for property managers, especially in the past prior to this legislation. As we all know, about 10% of move-out inspections in California alone result in an tenancy dispute. What the aim of this legislation is to reduce those disputes by providing those photographic records of before and after that tenancy. Now, another common challenge is disorganized files. So what we have seen is a lack of infrastructure of saving these files, or trying to come up with an infrastructure of where property managers will be able to save this documentation of before and after that tenancy, as well as the maintenance. And as well, the biggest one is it's a manual and time-consuming process. So to actually go out and do a move-in inspection and a move-out inspection can take hours upon hours for a property manager. And this has been a common fear with this upcoming legislation, is it's actually going to become a more time consuming for a property manager to be doing these tasks. Now, what you can do on the right hand side is you can scan this QR code and download your full AB 2801 guide that we provide you with. It goes into detail the common challenges, information about this new to security deposit law, and best practices for compliance. So I'll take a moment to allow you to scan that QR code and download that report before we dive into those best practices for compliance and how we can also help you mitigate and navigate those common challenges that property managers are facing. Now, the best practices for compliance with this new security deposit law is using time-stamped geotagged photos. So being able to provide photos that are time-stamped, you're able to geotag over a 360 virtual tour where certain damage is located. It allows you to conduct this process with ease, and also allows you to ensure that your photo records are fully complete and nothing is missing. And it also helps reduce those disputes over the condition of property by allowing those geotagged photos to give reference of where certain damage is located. The other one is conducting those pre-move out inspections. So as we know, it is a requirement under the legislation changes to give the tenants in writing the opportunity for a pre-move out inspection. I highly recommend doing so, and being able to send the tenants a to-do list of the items that they must fix before they move out is absolutely game-changing, and will allow that whole process to become a lot smoother. Now, you can do that within Inspection Express, and we have a lot of clients who actually use our tenant action item button within our software to provide the tenants with this to-do list for them to fix or clean certain things before they move out of the property. Now, the reason why our clients are using the tenant action items is because once you finalize that report, it will automatically send the tenant an email with a list of all the items that they need to fix or clean. And that to-do list also has an audit trail and a historical trail that you can pull up, and you can actually see when an email is being delivered to a tenant, when a tenant has opened that email, the day and time they've opened the email, and the device they've opened that email. So we're seeing a lot of success in property managers using that tenant action item for a pre-move out inspection, because it then allows you to provide evidence that you've given the tenant the opportunity to rectify any damages or cleaning items, and you can prove that with that audit trail that we provide. Promptly sharing reports as well is best practice. Again, you're able to do that within Inspection Express. Once you finalize an inspection, it can automatically send out to all the relevant parties. It just allows you to have that transparency on the process and that reports. And of course, storing records securely in the cloud, which allows you to organize your files. So again, Inspection Express within our software, we provide you with the ability to do all of this, storing your records securely, capturing those 360 virtual tours, geotagging those photos, conducting those pre-move out inspections, and promptly sharing those reports. Now, before I show you in depth Inspection Express or how Inspection Express can help you get compliant. Now, obviously, with this new legislation change, as with all new legislation changes, We have a lot of fear within the industry. Property managers, that they aren't going to be compliant, that it's going to make their jobs harder, that it's going to take more time and give tenants more power. But at the end of the day, we need to turn this new legislation and this compliance into an advantage. And the biggest advantages are it builds trust and reduces those disputes. So by utilizing software like ours, you're able to reduce those end of tenancy disputes from that 10% down to about 1 to 3% of move out inspections resulting in a dispute. So it's actually going to save you time in the long run. If you have this documentation, it's going to save that time for you in the long run by reducing those end of tenancy disputes that you have to deal with at end of tenancy and going to court with tenants about these certain items. So it's going to build that trust and reduce those disputes. It's going to enhance your professionalism by being able to provide those reports and protect your landlord's asset. It's going to elevate your service offering to your landlords and allow you to protect your landlords as well and save your landlords a lot of money in the long run. So it's going to actually elevate your professional profile, and it's going to streamline your operations, especially if you have software like ours in place. It's going to allow you to streamline those operations by having those move in, move out, periodic inspections and pre-move out inspections all in the one place, stored securely, and using a software that allows you to do this in a quick and professional manner as well. Now, tools that will help you with being compliant, and we've touched upon this within the webinar a couple of times, but it is with our software Inspection Express. Photo comparisons and AI reports will help you immensely. So being able to place a 360 camera in the middle of the room, take that 360 photo in 6 seconds, and then AI conducts the rest of the report for you, will help you streamline those operations and reduce the time it takes for these inspections. But it will also allow you to have a certain standard or level of standard for these reports, which are incredibly detailed. The instant delivery and cloud storage in our software as well. So having that peace of mind that all of your inspections are stored securely within the cloud, that you can access at any time from anywhere, and that instant delivery of reports to all relevant parties, and of course system integration. The fact that we do partner with all the major PMS solutions out there, manage to automatically save, for maintenance to automatically push through. Those system integrations are absolutely game-changing for that. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to use this time to type them in the question box. As I said, you're able to download that guide as well, and we can send that guide to you afterwards. But we're going to hop into a quick demo of Inspection Express and how this tool will help you remain compliant. So what you can see here is an example report that I've conducted for a move-in inspection. So I've actually gone through and I've taken this 360-degree image of each room for that report. So it's allowing this really accurate documentation of the condition of this property prior to the tenants moving in. I've been able to geotag these up-close images of any particular damages or items that I want to note. And it's taken me 2 minutes to conduct this report because I've literally placed a camera in the middle of the room and taken that photo, 6 seconds for each room. Then all I do is click this AI button on the top left-hand corner, which is our AI feature. And what that's going to do is it's going to read of the images that I've captured, and it's going to create commentary on the condition of the property and the features of the property for me. And it's going to do this in less than a minute. So what we're seeing here is the AI in action. Go through now. As you can probably imagine, the amount of it takes for you to do this report is amazing. So it's super easy for you to conduct these inspections, and it's super quick. And as we can see here, these are the comments that it's done for us. So it's super accurate. It's even done a furniture inventory list for us. It will identify the brands of certain appliances, and it will read all of that information. AI will read all of that information and create that in the comments for you for your entire report. So it's really, really helping you have as detailed as possible of a move-in inspection and you're able to do this in a matter of minutes instead of hours as it typically takes now. In terms of your move in and your move out reports, here's an example of a finalized move out report. So what we're seeing here is the pairing and the automatic pairing of your move in 360 on the left hand side versus your move out 360 on the right hand side. So you're able to see in this interactive report the clear before and after of the property's condition within the tenancy. So you're able to see that and walk through it and see clear as day what the issues are. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time today, this afternoon. Please let us know if you do have any further questions, if you would like a demo, and we will chat to you soon.